Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM, brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray as we talk 90 minutes, the fastest 90 minutes in outdoor radio programming, and this is show number 1,000 and something or other. I don't know. After we celebrated our 20th anniversary a couple of weeks ago, we're back rolling here in September on the first Saturday of the month, which means that Dave Gabbert and Gene Smith, Gene's in studio, Dave's in Lexington, Tennessee.
Good morning, good morning.
As our co-host, and Gene's looking at me with his mask on. I'm looking. That is you, isn't it, over there?
Hi-yo, Silver.
That's you. That is you. And Shelby McCall is pushing the buttons. As I announced early in the week, I tried for a long shot. I said, why don't we try to get two guys who now live in East Tennessee on at the same show? And Joe Opogger from Major League Fishing said, let's see if we can do it. We've done it. And our first guest here this Saturday morning is from Blaine, Tennessee, over in the east end of the state, long ways from Memphis, closer to Washington, D.C. He is Memphis, but one of our show favorites, and that's Ott Defoe. Good morning, Ott.
Hey, Larry, how are you? That is pretty true. I am closer to Washington, D.C. You wouldn't think it that I am Memphis, Tennessee. But
yeah, no, you are,
really
but
glad to be back.
Lots of fans over here, buddy, and I know it's really been a thrilling career for you. I know that I was counting up how many sponsors you have. We don't have enough segment time to talk about your sponsors, and I can just imagine what it feel like to solidify your career, and then all of a sudden a big event happened back in May that kind of sharpened you up for 2021, and after everything went through in 2020, here comes Ott down in Leesburg, Florida, and picks up a little pocket change on the Harris chain of lakes. So congratulations on that start, Ott. But let's talk about 2021 and what it shapes up for you, and how much did that give you the boost that you really needed?
Yeah, it definitely did, Larry. You know, I've over the years I've had some success in Florida here and there. I had a second place finish down at Okeechobee in an Elite Series a few years ago, and but Florida has always been one of those kind of places that I've had some good events there, and I've had some kind of stinkers. So you know, to go to Florida and actually finally win one, it's kind of, you know, it's a lot like winning something up on northern fisheries on smallmouth. You know, those those are kind of the outliers. You know, you win in Florida or you win up north. The rest of the country is all, you know, there's differences, but the rest of the country is the rest of the country. But those northern or far southern fisheries are definitely the extreme end of the spectrum.
Well, if I remember right, and you've told me before, I know you and your dad, Bud, were so close and close fishing wise. When you were 9 years old, where did you take your first trip to?
That was at Lake Okeechobee.
There you go.
Yeah, we had watched Roland Martin shows and everything down there, and him catching those big ones, and oh son, look at this monster. And
yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
We had to go try it.
And you look back now, and you're getting ready to have a birthday, September 17th. I see. Wow.
That's right. Coming up here in just a couple of weeks.
Are you ready for a birthday celebration? Would you like to?
Yeah.
That next one, would that be a nice birthday present for you?
It definitely would. This Stage 7 coming up here at Lake St. Clair.
Yes.
A win would be a great birthday present.
Well, talk about the career, Ott. I mean, you're really living the dream, I know, but you've also been able to, what I think, I look at it and say, man, how do you keep you cool? How do you be so humble? How do you do these different kind of things? And I know that you and your family, your wife, Jenny, are real close and to your faith and things along that line. How much does that play a part in your success?
It's the largest single part of it, Larry. It really is. You know, I mean, my faith in the Lord is definitely the grounding thing. You know, because I look at all the rest of the stuff and know that it's you know, all the rest of the stuff is temporary. It's all secondary at best. You know, Mark Rose fishes by that faith, family, then fishing, and that's certainly the priorities in my life, and that's the whole deal, keeping your priorities straight.
Yes.
And
yeah.
I don't always get that right, but
Who does?
I know if I'm trying to live for the Lord, that should be goal number one, and everything else will fall into place where it should.
Well, talk about this podcast y'all are doing. Whose idea was that? It's JOJ. Tell them the listeners a little bit about the podcast.
Yeah. Podcast, or it's on our YouTube channel, is where it is for the most part, and people are, we don't have it on any kind of streaming things or anything yet. We've not gotten.
But you can go on your Facebook page. You can go on your Facebook page and pick it up.
It's on our Facebook page as well. Yep, sure can.
We'll talk about it.
But yeah, it's JOJ, which is Jesus, Ott, and Jenny, and that's kind of that's the name of it that we came up with, and it's been a fun thing that Jenny and I had. It's funny because God had kind of put it on both of our hearts independently before we ever really talked about it.
Yes.
And by the time we were, I think felt convicted enough to talk to each other about it, each of us was like, yeah, I kind of thought that we should, get kind of wanting to do this. So that was a pretty clear sign to us that it was something He was leading us to do, and it's been great. It's been it's really, a lot of it up to this point has been kind of catching up. A lot of people are like, y'all have such an interesting story of having dated in high school, and and then how that transitioned into a fishing career, and when I was still working, and how people ask how do you go from working to actually fishing professionally and not having a regular job, and not all the life that we've been through in our 17 years of marriage. So that's kind of what we've done. So to this point, it's been basically catching up. Going forward, we've kind of got a plan of how we're going to, take a topic or a subject and kind of talk about that for the month going forward is kind of our plan. So
well, I think it's pretty cool. It's obvious that, of course, I'm not ashamed to express what I feel on this show or anything like that. And you guys have, you and Jenny, have just been so. It's pretty spontaneous, folks. You can go to Ott's Facebook page, YouTube, look up Ott Defoe. I don't know. I'm still waiting for the part about you singing in the choir. I'm still waiting on that. I'm still waiting on that to pop up because
Now I will say I have kind of slacked off on that.
You got to get back, Ott. Come on.
I do need to get back. They need to get back and singing in the choir, and most of the folks at church tell me that too. But
okay. Well, you got the voice. I can tell that. And and I know you got the voice, but you love to make crankbaits too much. So talk about that, because that's really you're throwing your own baits. How cool is that?
That really is. To be throwing a lot of my own stuff that Rapala is making now. That was a dream come true. As a kid when I first started making balsa wood baits, a shad wrap was the greatest thing ever. And everything we tried to make was somewhere around that, and in a lot of ways. And so the fact that I'm sponsored by a company that had baits that I admired so much as a kid, but the fact that now that they're even producing stuff that I had made myself is really. When I open up a box of Slims or a box of Tinies, and like this is what I've made 15, 20 years ago. It's really cool.
And you really you use this. You're not just blowing smoke on this, because I know I know because down in Florida, you were using one of the Slims, I think, a 6 maybe or something like that.
Yeah, Slim 6. Yeah, that was a big bait for me down there, especially on the final day, and that's our last event just up at Lake Champlain. Slim and the new Tiny, which is the newest bait in the OG line, was a really key bait for me up there. So both of those baits have just this year have had part in a win and another top 10 finish. So it's awesome.
So these things make it even more personal for you, and because I know you said that you had a terrible day the first day, and a pro knows when he has a terrible day. But but if you're going to have a terrible day, it's a lot better to have it on the first day than the last day. And
absolutely.
And so you had a chance to come back, and that win was so important for you as far as spearheading, because 2020 was such an odd year. I mean, an odd year for Ott, so to speak. We might even have a podcast called that, Odd Year for Ott.
Definitely could.
So talk about you're going up. You're up north. You're getting ready to start September the 10th. I think is the first day on that. So we got a couple of minutes. What challenges do you face up there?
Jacob Wheeler, largely. That's one of the biggest ones. But no, I mean that Lake St. Clair is a great fishery. So it's going to take a ton of weight, just like it always does when you go to St. Clair. But being able to score every fish over 2 pounds is really. It's going to take some big weights. I don't know that I don't expect it to be as big as the St. Lawrence River was, but it's going to be a pretty big event for sure as far as the catches go. So should be a lot of fun, and hopefully we have good weather.
That's the key.
We are fishing U.S. only water, so it does limit it some, but still plenty of water to fish.
Plenty of water.
Should be a great week.
And the weather, at least Ida's moved out. And, of course, Ida's going to leave a mark even when you guys get up there from the rain that they got. Thank you, man, for taking time on this Saturday morning. Always great to talk to you, and keep up the good work, buddy. Got a lot of fans down here, including this old man here, okay? So,
well, thank you, Larry. Good to talk to y'all, and hope y'all have a great Saturday.
All right, let me know when you're back in the choir, okay? All right.
Okay.
All right, buddy. Good. Have a great one. All right. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a break. Come right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray.